Alright, what's up y'all, LakerFan here. As we're about to title today's video, we're here to talk about why I keep losing to Joe Knows in NBA 2K24 Comp Pro-Am. So, this is the third time that we've played them. Technically second, if I were to argue it. The first time, we kind of were just on a scrimmage, didn't even know we were going to play against them, had like 390 overalls out there and stuff. It was kind of a wash game in my opinion. Now, the second time we played them, he just uploaded recently, and then this right here is the third time that we have played. Now, let me tell you guys something about this team that Joe's got right here. They are beating everybody on the game right now. They got my boy Bullet Passer at the 2, orange hair. They got Joe on a 6'6" running crazy 5 out. They got Penny shooting out the corner, Swag in the left corner that can create out of like, you know, offensive settings. He's a very good defender as well for the on ball that I do. And then they got Bauer, a really good key lockdown for their team that people won't really give enough credit in my opinion, but one of the better locks in the game. And together, this team has unmatched chemistry, and that's the fact of the matter that Joe's team has over every Pro-Am team in the game. The chemistry that this lineup and just like the players itself insinuates is really tough to deal with because they have a lot of checks and counters to a lot of different things you can do against them, and I actually saw it play out in this series as well, but kind of didn't even realize it toward the end. But anyway, as far as our lineup, what we've been doing, it's a little bit different, you know, than what they've got. So I don't really have the best preview screen for you or anything, but as you can see, we have Shots top 5, also known as AK. He's like our point guard in a sense, but he's a very defensive player while at that. We have an extremely defensive lineup out here, and the biggest issue of what we're here to talk about is that we are going to start switching up our lineup pretty soon. I'm not here to show you much gameplay, but I will recap what happened in the series and how we can fix that type of stuff as well, and what we're planning to do in the future. But I wanted to address why we keep losing to Joe, because I know a lot of people have been asking that. I've seen it on Twitter and stuff like that too. Let me be real with you guys. A lot of teams are losing to these guys very consistently. They're the best team in Pro-Am right now, and they have been even pre-draft when 2K League players are flooding the streets with this stuff. We've been a very good team as well though, and with very limited amounts of reps. So that's another little bit of this video is gonna be a lot of excuse making. We'll just put it like that. So we have too much defense on the court, not enough offense. I'm on a 6'10" point center with only mid-range upgraded. It's a little bit of a tough situation to create with. We have AK on a point guard that's really more like a shooting guard. It only has like 86 ball handle, 75 speed with ball, and then like 92 three-pointers. So it's not exactly the most elite offensive player by any means or anything like that. It's a very good two-way build though. If you can live off your defense and that works for you, it's actually a pretty good build. But besides that, we have 2 6'7s that both spot up hash sometimes with 85 three-pointer, and that's obviously enough three-pointer to get them both bronze limitless range, and that's something that they can play situational hashes with. They pretty much, whoever goes right corner, the other one goes right hash. And then Tonic fills in our left corner as our mini post scorer in a way, but it's still a versatile, like, very fast defender at 6'9", being our dropper in our center, and it works out because I'm still a center as well, so I can still double crash with that. So it's a good lineup, and it's so good against like ranked teams and, you know, like other comp Pro-Am teams that run pick and roll and stuff like that. But the lineup meets its match when it plays these guys. So as you can see, in the first game, they absolutely caught us off guard with the full court press. We ended up with so many turnovers, as you can see. Me and AK both included. They had Swag full court press and me. They had Bauer full court press and AK. As you can see, Swag with 4 steals, IQ with 3, Bauer with 2, even Corner had 2 because we were playing a couple stupid situations. We were just checking the ball over the corner. Efficiency-wise, you can see we did pretty good, and also limiting Joe a tad bit. I mean, 24-7 is like a pretty good line for him, but obviously while having 6 turnovers, we did enough on defense to win this game. As you can see, 58 points. That's my opinion, and that's how that went. Now, you add to another list of the excuses. Here's another situation we had, right? So we'll call it an 8-point game because Bauer was starting to lag out, so then like yada yada. Here's what the score looked like in this game before this lag out happened. So as you can see, we're 12 for 23, not even shooting that good, but we're limiting the turnovers in this game. We have found a little bit of an adjustment to it. As you can see, they have 19 points. It's already 2.5 minutes into the third quarter, and we're holding them to 19 even still. So while our offense still didn't even show up in terms of shooting right now and like shot creation and stuff like that, we were able to squeak out some points for me in like the pick and rolls and, you know, ISOs and stuff like that too. We're rebounding really well with this lineup too. But unfortunately, here's what happens. So 2K was having this bug, this issue. Bauer lags out. I believe that 100%, just so we're clear, fellas. He did not quit the game on purpose or anything like that. However, it is unfortunate circumstances because as you guys can see, as he's lagging out, I have 91% left on my play take that I just got, and we're on good momentum. We've been playing great defense, all that stuff. Just unfortunate. I mean, it's the worst for everybody. I know for a fact Joe doesn't want something like this to happen either because it's terrible for content when you have to run stupid spreads on a game. So anyway, fast forward to the continuation of Game 2. As you're going to see, we're loading back up, it's a spread. We're up by 11 points with about a minute, a minute and a half or 2 minutes left to go in the third and a whole quarter of gameplay. So it's pretty much 7 or 8 minutes left of the game. As you can see, this was bad. We ended up losing in even the spread, and this is just more indication of why we would have continued to probably lose the next game. I mean, this is rough. 3 for 15. A turnover, we couldn't create literally anything on offense, and then our defense crumbled. 26 points on 10 for 13 in, like I said, about a quarter and a half left of the game. So, bad ball. It just is what it is. And then if you go ahead and scroll over to the Joe channel, Joe posted a gameplay. As you can see, LakerFan brought 5 lockdowns to the finals to stop my Michael Jordan build. This was in the Dunk Overnight tournament. This was game 1, and as you can see, like, we didn't do probably enough on either end, to be honest. I mean, holding them to 55 in theory is good enough, but as far as like how we limited Joe, 29 and 6 on 11 for 14, their efficiency was just good enough, you know what I mean? And we held swag in check, or at least I should say I did. But obviously you can see I had a pretty good game in this one. I was getting to my dunks, I was getting to my mid-range, all types of stuff. I only had 1 turnover, and it doesn't show the efficiency, but obviously I was quite efficient when it comes to how I was playing in this game. But anyway, you fast forward into the next one, we got destroyed. As you can see, it's 42-23 in the quarter right here. You go ahead and fast forward it to the end, and as you're gonna see, I mean, it was bad ball. Like, we end up losing by a lot, and I don't have much going at all this game. They boxed me up, they played me really well. Our guard combos stunk it up bad, shooting wise in total. They boxed us up really good. Their defense is really good, and they blow us out 74-37. It's the worst experience I've ever had on this video game, and that was in the last time that we played them. So we did improve, in my opinion. We definitely improved since the last time we played. We figured out a lot of new things offensively and how we wanted to play them defensively, but as far as the sum total of it, we suck against them. Simple as that. So let's talk about how we move forward into the future. Alright, so as you guys can see, what we're going to be showing in a little bit of this gameplay right here is me on a new guard. This is a 6'2". I'm not here to show you the whole build yet because we're going to have a separate build video for this, and you may question the 6'2 versus a 6'3 or 6'4. You're like, why would you make it that small? Trust me, it's more attribute points. It works simple as that. You don't got to tell me twice, fellas, that I would have preferred to be on a 6'4 or a 6'3 rather than a 6'2, but it lets you make some godly stuff as far as the attributes go. Now, as far as what the gameplay is going to look like this stuff, I want to pause it right here and show you guys what the plan is, essentially. So let's pop those icons up real quick and give you a good example of what this is going to look like in the future. So the plan is that we're going to be a much more offensive team. It's going to be me on this point guard build right here in the 5-out, traditional 5-out. I'd hate to say it like this, but if you can't beat them, join them. It is what it is, right? Normally, I think of it in the opposite way. I figure if you're not better than the people that you're playing, how are you ever going to beat them if you're trying to do the exact same thing? But I guess we're just going to have to put our money where our mouth is and see if we can do it better than them, because it's hard to match the style of play they have when you don't really do the same thing. Now, I'm curious if a true 5-out can actually match well with them, and what the plan is going to be lineup-wise. We're going to keep Apollo on his build. Bonnie, you can see, is over here technically, but AK is going to play in his role on a true offensive point guard build. It's going to be like 96 three-pointer, 95 ball handle, 90 speed with ball. He's still going to have, the Kyrie dribble style, all that stuff. And the point here is that there's only one lockdown on the court. Typical teams are going to have a lockdown and a power forward. I assume what most teams will do, since I'm the 5-out style, they'll put the power forward on me, they'll put their lockdown on AK, and they'll put their center on Tonic. And that leaves you the point guard and the shooting guard to guard our 2 spot-ups between where Bonnie will technically be with his 6'7" still, and then Apollo with his 6'7" as well. So that leaves me, AK, Tonic on the left side of the court. Again, that's power forward, lockdown, center matchups. Simple as that. So here's the thing with that. We have Tonic also on this build right here with 79 three-pointer, 86 midi, so he can still do his like shot creator post-up stuff. He has 87 driving dunk, 90 standing dunk, so he can replace me as our pick and roller, and even still has 90 O board, 93 D board as well. So all that stuff included, he's going to be able to be a pick and roller for us, and my plan here is that we can force people to have their center in pick and roll defense with us, whether it's me using Tonic as the pick and roller or if it's AK using Tonic as the pick and roller. So as you can see, like as far as what I'm gonna be doing, the 5-out stuff, we got some really good dribble moves on this stuff. I'm gonna let you guys see how I'm moving on this build. We'll you know what, we'll just show some straight up gameplay from here. So I'm out here with Mamba, two-way, all that stuff. I'm playing defense. It's still got 76 prim D. We got really good speed and ability to move around on this stuff. I'm also able to guard the paint on my own as well. Switch these right here, all that stuff. But let's get back to the offensive discussion real quick and not get too distracted by all the other ideas and stuff. what I'm trying to get at here is that Tonic is going to be able to get used as a pick and roller. We're going to force other team centers to have to guard pick and roll, whether it's me using the ball and doing that, or if it's AK using the ball and doing that. And it's going to be very easy pickings to hunt matchups and keep it as simple as that. Like right here, you can see we're going to utilize Tonic as a pick and roll. And as you can see, I'm reading it all out. We got some matchups and stuff. I don't have anything, but Tonic can still use me as a give and go cutter and stuff like that as well. I can use him as the pick and popper where I can replace the ball and stuff like that too. I mean, I think this is going to be really, really helpful right here. He cuts me off good. Hit him with the pass. Hit him with the give and go. Boom, standing dunk. You know, it's stuff like that I'm trying to explain to you guys. We're going to implement into our offense and really utilize the more offensive sense of everything, where I can have a really good offensive build. AK is going to have a really good offensive build. Tonic's going to have a really good offensive build. And we minimize the amount of defense that we probably need, whether it's for traditional teams or for, you know, playing against teams like Joe as well. Whereas with our original lineup, it's obvious the type of matchups you're going to run into. You know, like Tonic's on a 6'9", so it's possible for someone like Joe or like a guard in general to even guard him a tad bit. Whereas like on his new build, having 90 standing dunk, 87 driving dunk, and offensive rebound, all that stuff, you can't put a guard on him. You literally can't. You have to man up someone like Penny on him, and it's going to be as simple as that. Centers have to guard him. Easy, right? So then that leaves us with a point guard, shooting guard doubled up on the same side of the court. We got, it's so obvious in this type of lineup who's matched up on who, and it works out for everybody really well. Bauer's a great matchup for AK. Swag's a great matchup for me. We got IQ matched up on our hash. We got Penny or Joe to just pretty much guard either corner, and it works out like that. Whereas if you know, let's flash over to our other lineup real quick. You know, I mean, we'll have me and AK, where teams ideally would want to lock down on both of us, but power forwards are going to have to guard one of us, and it's going to be as simple as that. And then we have the center stuck on Tonic. You put Tonic into the pick and roll pick and pops, get those centers really having to reel on the pops and stuff like that too, or their lack of speed or the lack of versatility, and the fact that we can put AK, a natural born point guard, into pick and rolls the center any given moment that we want to. And then if we bully them out of that, if a power forward has to guard Tonic, think about what that does for the remaining parts of the court. Let's go ahead and pause that and explain what happens if a power forward has to guard Tonic if we're using him in the pick and roll way too much, right? That's going to mean that if a 4 is on Tonic, that means a lock is probably on me, and then a 2 guard is probably over here on AK or something like that. And it would be at the expense of their center moving over here to the right corner and their point guard being doubled up on the hash. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you're trying to tell me that one way or another, AK is going to have a shooting guard matched up on him on a real point guard build, like he's going to have a true blue PG, some real good movement stuff, and he's going to get a shooting guard on him with Tonic with a power forward on him, or if AK has to deal with a lockdown being on him, he gets Tonic as a pick and roller with a center having to get stuck in the PNR. It's like the best of both worlds. Or if a 2 guard ends up on me in ISO or something like that, it's perfect. Not to mention, by the way, here, let's set this up to the middle of the court and just make it, I know I'm using hypotheticals and stuff like that. I don't really got the best situations to explain things right now, but just stick with me on the imaginary like stuff of this. So the other combo in the fantasy world of if a center gets bullied off of Tonic and they can't put a center on Tonic anymore because we're utilizing him in pick and roll game a little too much, what it's going to be is a center has to guard the opposite corner then, because there's nowhere else they can put a center. They're not going to put him on me, AK, or our hash. That would make no sense to go hash either. So he has to go corner, which also means a point guard does not want to guard Tonic, me, or AK as well. And that would leave us with a situation where a point guard has to guard hash. Well, let's say Tonic, we move him over to this corner now, and AK back up to the hash. We go regular 5 out with me up top. That means I have a point guard in my nearest hash, and I can utilize this guy, like Apollo right here, as a screener to force point guards to have to guard me. In which case, in the past, they could kind of just sit under everything because I didn't have 3-point on the build and I wasn't a 3-point threat. Now, they have to at least respect it. I can catch them on the screens, and I push it at the point guard, making them have to guard me, and we can utilize this hash offensive player as a screener in the pick and popper and stuff like that. So there's so many different options we can get to in this type of a situation with this offense, and I'm absolutely in love with the idea of how we can move around this type of stuff. You can see I green this one, but unfortunately it gets an illegal screen. But anyway, I don't want to show too much gameplay. It's not necessary, and it's a little bit too many hypotheticals for my liking and stuff, but that's the concept of our new lineup. It's going to be 2 guards between me and AK. I have the 5-out option and can utilize the pick and pop, pick and roll a little bit with Tonic. We have AK as our outside guard that can utilize Tonic as a pick and roller heavily. And then we have Tonic who can still cut. He can still get the standing dunks. He can get the offensive rebounds. He's still our dropper on defense. We still utilize Apollo and Bonnie as a lockdown duo, all that good stuff. And then we still have Apollo and Bonnie that can either screen for me if they get a point guard matchup on them and I hunt that matchup, or just in general good shooters. They have 85 3-pointer and a 6'7" that can still guard everybody as well. So it's the same old stuff we're downscaling a little bit of defense at the expense of our really good offense that we're going to have, and it's just something to get new and used to. And also, before we go, I want to come back to this Joe comment section real quick, because I think, like, I saw a lot of this stuff and it didn't really, like, I'm not gonna say it offended me in the moment, but it more so made me realize, like, a lot of what they're saying is true. I don't normally take comments to heart too much, but a lot of this stuff truly is, like, actually serious. So anyway, he says right here, LakerFan always does a good job against comp teams, but you guys just have their number every time. It's good content. He's right. LA desperately needs a 3-ball. He's right. I need to be able to shoot. Swag played some good defense on Laker. He's right. He has my number. Simple as that. Their lineup is crazy. If they played a random rec, they'd probably hold a team under 10 the whole game. He's right. We do that in ranked as well. But the problem is that they're so, like, actually right about a lot of this stuff, and yeah, still can't stop you. I don't know. To be fair, that game was a lot different than the way that we got it the second time and stuff. But anyway, I don't know. A lot of this stuff is true, what people are saying, and rather than me get offended at it, I'm actually going to go ahead and just listen to them, to be honest with you, because I think they're right. But anyway, that's all for video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'm excited to see what we can do in the future with this type of lineup. But anyway, that's all for video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to noties, all that good stuff. And like always, try to win 1,000 likes. If you made it to the end of the video, put LA in the comments, short sports my through, or you could put 6-2 if you would like as well. But anyway, that's all for the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one with the build video itself. As you can see, this is what we're doing on stuff like this. And I actually had another one where I had like 5 rebounds as well. That's another factor to the build that we'll show you in a second, but I don't want to give you too many ideas yet because people get very judgmental over how I upgraded this build. They definitely will. But I stand on it. I think it's the best thing I could have possibly made, and I'm excited to see it. But anyway, that's all for video. Hope you all enjoyed, and that take these, man. Peace.